have to be your biggest fan. And when things are really tough and they're really rough and nothing's working, but there's something
Hello and welcome to Art and Cocktails. I am Kat, artist, founder of Create Magazine, and certified master coach. And on this episode, I'm going to talk about something that's going to resonate with all of us. And that is what to do when opportunities just seem to be closing. You feel like you're not getting the chances that you deserve, and how we can reframe that rejection and disappointment and lack of opportunities into building our own table and inviting others to sit with it. On this episode, I want to bring in some inspiring examples such as Jamie Kern Lima, Sylvester Stallone, Sarah Blakely of Spanx, and of course the amazing artists of 9th Street Women. I'm inspired to share this episode because as I'm reflecting on my journey up to this point, I realized that many of the pivotal moments where I experienced growth, success, and opportunities actually came from me creating my own. When I first graduated, I was facing tons and tons of rejection. I got no's from galleries, from local institutions, and it was quite discouraging to keep getting rejection letter after rejection letter. And not even just that, but when I was trying to find a job in the arts, I had a hard time even finding positions that were open. And imagine me, a girl in her 20s, just recently graduated out of art school, struggling to even find her place in the world. It felt like I wasted the past 4 years of my life. It felt like my whole college education was a complete waste of time and money. But later on, I had an epiphany, and little by little, over the years, my mindset started to shift. And I took myself from being at cause and feeling like a victim to being in effect, meaning I'm in charge of my life. I can create opportunities that are missing, and I know that the universe or God has placed specific unique gifts inside of us that can help us bring our vision into the world. The funny thing about our vision is that sometimes the universe gives us a vision that we create, meaning it doesn't yet exist in the world. Just like you've probably heard people saying, my dream job didn't exist, so I created it. Kind of this similar premise occurred in my life, in my art career, and so I want to share some inspiring reframes to help you today. In a moment, I'm going to share a few inspiring figures that have faced rejection or disappointment in some way and have really transformed and transmuted those experiences into amazing $1 million and even $1 billion brands, into platforms, exhibitions, and actually changed art history. Before we dive into those examples, I just want to honor the fact that I think that sometimes we really want to fit into the boxes that already exist. And we also have to remember that at one point, those opportunities, those quote unquote boxes, such as galleries or stores or different types of podcasts or newsletters or magazines, were once someone else's idea that they created from not having those opportunities. So when you think about it this way, rejection isn't as painful because you realize that that's that person's specific vision for their company, for their art organization. And maybe our work just doesn't fit in there, and that's completely okay. It doesn't mean that it's not valuable, and it doesn't mean that we don't get success or opportunities. I know it's a human need to want to be chosen, to want to be validated. And I also want to say there's really nothing wrong with that. And it's okay to dream to be invited to a fancy gallery or museum or publication that you're dreaming of. There's nothing wrong with that. But what I do want is to invite you to not wait for those things and to not really, build your life around those opportunities, because in the meantime, there is so much more you can do to start living your dream right now. Even though certain visions may take years to manifest in our lives, there is so much we can do to start living as the person who achieves those kinds of goals and dreams. So, for example, when you think of a professional athlete, they are probably working out regardless whether or not they are participating in the Olympics this year. They are practicing for the dream. They're practicing for where they're going to be. And there's just the same way that even if a gallery said no to you, you can go ahead and pop up and have an amazing exhibition at your local community center or a restaurant or a gorgeous hotel lobby, and the experience is going to be very similar, even though it's not exactly that thing that you were initially looking for. And through doing so, through showing up for yourself and really reinitiating that grit, you're going to invite people to want to work with you too. I promise this has been so true in my life. When I graduated, because of all the no's I received, I started to little by little go around local coffee shops, local galleries or restaurants. And one of my first shows was an exhibition at a local opera house. And it was cool because people would go to see a show, a concert, or a comedy special. And when they come out, the artwork is in the lobby. And I ended up connecting with people, giving out my email list sign up form to them, and in this way, picked up a few of my original collectors. So this experience taught me that even though I might not be getting invited to places or opportunities yet, I can still take action and be proactive in my success instead of being discouraged and feeling like a victim and waiting for something to happen. Now, I also want to say that when I started on this journey of being an artist and later entrepreneur, I really didn't give myself a choice but to succeed because I didn't have a plan B. I don't have a rich family backing me. My partner is very supportive, but no, there's a very big limit to how much he can support me and keep me going. So I had to figure things out. And this grit that I developed through showing up, through thinking outside the box, through putting myself out there, even when it was scary, uncomfortable, or non-conventional to the industry, has really helped me grow and has helped me have this mindset of a victor, not a victim, and to always look for opportunities instead of obstacles. Because let me tell you, obstacles are always there at every level of our career. So the more you can start thinking like a successful person and see the wins and opportunities and abundance in your life today, even if it might not be that glamorous thing you see another artist posting on Instagram, you're going to be 100,000 times more successful. All right, without further ado, I want to highlight a few specific examples of inspiring people in our world who have taken the lack of opportunities or disappointment and turn it into literal gold. One person who has inspired me so much over the past few years is Jamie Kern Lima, whose story is just absolutely astounding. After being repeatedly dismissed by major cosmetics companies, she created IT Cosmetics from her living room. She worked tirelessly to prove her product's value, and eventually her persistence paid off. IT Cosmetics was acquired by L'Oreal for $1.2 billion, making Jamie the first female CEO of L'Oreal Company. A classic example is Sylvester Stallone. In the 1970s, he was a struggling actor who could not get his big break. But instead of giving up, he wrote the script for Rocky and was offered significant money for the script, but he refused to sell it unless he could star in the movie. Eventually, he found a producer willing to take the risk, and Rocky became a massive success, launching Stallone's career. My next example is The 9th Street Women, as written by Mary Gabriel. In 1955, brilliant female artists Lee Krasner, Elaine de Kooning, Grace Hardigan, Joan Mitchell, and Helen Frankenthaler felt marginalized in the male-dominated art world. Instead of waiting for galleries to accept them, they banded together and organized their own exhibition on 9th Street in New York City. This bold move not only showcased their incredible talent, but also paved the way for future generations of female artists. Finally, Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx, starting with just $5,000 in savings, developed her idea for footless pantyhose. Facing constant rejection from manufacturers, she finally convinced one to take a chance. Spanx is now a billion-dollar company revolutionizing the fashion industry. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this lifted you up. I hope it stirred up that fire in your belly and got you back in the game. When I say get back in the game, I don't mean that we need to burn out and do a million things at once. I just mean that we believe in ourselves, that we take whatever steps we can with whatever time and energy we have, knowing that we're doing our part and doing our best and trusting that the universe is going to meet us halfway. I heard someone share the other day, I think it was Amy Porterfield, that when we do our 10%, the universe does 90%. So in the spirit of things, when you start showing up, creating your own opportunities, you're also inviting support to come to you from other people. If you are an artist who is looking for opportunities or is not getting invited to things that you're dreaming of, I think it's time for you to build your own table. If you're interested in learning how to create your own exhibition and hang it up like a professional, market it so people show up, get local media sources to cover it, we have the perfect program for you. It's called Your Own Art Show, and we are so excited to share all of our 20 plus experience between Geeta Joshi and I, who's a London curator. This program supports artists and curators in helping them create solo exhibitions, group shows, jury shows, or whatever your vision is. And the great thing about this program is that you don't need to spend thousands of dollars on renting a storefront. You can start by collaborating with your local community, coffee shops, hotel lobbies, banks, wherever you have the space and walls and humans. That's a great place to start putting yourself out there, especially if you're not currently getting the opportunities and exhibitions that you deserve. You can learn more by going to yourownartshow.com, and also check out the free marketing guide for promoting your exhibition. Thanks so much for watching. I'm so excited for your journey. Tag me on Instagram if this resonated, and I'll see you soon.